right.
Tyler?
Yeah.
Get up.
Hi, and welcome to the heights of our Junkarium, where all talk is trash. Today, our two tremendous teams will be reaching for the skies as they head for the ultimate gradient. At the summit is a place in our semifinals.
The challenge is to build a one-man hill climber for the ultimate test in upward mobility. The teams will have 3 attempts at this daredevilishly steep slope. Whoever gets the highest will crawl through to the semi-finals.
First up, a team of Junkyard virgins from Virginia, manic mechanical maintenance men, the Pit Crew.
Hi, we're the Pit Crew.
We service all the emergency vehicles for Arlington County.
Frank, he's a welder. He can weld anything but a broken heart and straighten anything but a crooked woman.
Timmy's an all-around 360-degree guy. Scott's a very unique person. He is a junkyard dog by himself. The Pit Crew's coming to town, guys, so look out.
Who let the junkyard dogs out? Oh, oh, oh.
To get the Pit Crew in top gear, we've wheeled in Chris Adamson. He's been off-roading crazy vehicles since the age of 5, but at 44, he may be over the hill.
Winging their way from California are a fantastic flight of airline pilots, the Jet Jocks. They're all former Top Guns.
We all met at the Air Force Academy in 1983. Dave's the smartest guy I know. He'll definitely be our problem solver.
Giff is the one that never worries about anything. He's really handy with his hands.
If Giff can't make it work, nobody can.
Ron, as our team captain, is our inspiration and guiding light.
He's a schemer in the group. He's the one always coming up with new ideas.
I think our Air Force training will come through. We'll work well under pressure, just like the old days.
We're the Jet Jocks from California.
To get the Jet Jocks airborne, we've parachuted in Randy Ellis. He's one of the original rock crawlers, but he'll need a pick-me-up if he's going to guzzle up the gradient we've got for him.
Okay, guys, let's do it. Come on.
All right, teams, huddle up here.
Come on.
Pit Crew, Jet Jocks. Teams, I want you to look up. Look way up, because that's the direction that you're going. Your challenge today is to build a machine that is capable of scaling dizzying heights and terrifyingly sheer terrain. Your job today, build me a heroic hill climber.
Yeah! Let's go. Oh, man, that's...
Okay, teams, well, the really dastardly part is you have just 10 hours to build your machines. Your time starts when the Junkyard gonger gongs. Are you ready?
Yeah!
It's takeoff for the pilots.
All right, a hill climber. Randy, talk to us.
Well, we're dealing with gravity. We got to go uphill. It needs to be lightweight. Our whole theme is to keep it light.
What about power?
Power, lots of power. Power to weight ratio is good.
The Jet Jocks hope to find a motorbike engine. They'll mount it on a slim steel frame built from scratch. It'll be connected by a chain to a go-kart back axle, and they'll fit lightweight racing tyres. But if their vehicle is too heavy, their measly motorbike engine will only stutter up the slope.
We need to find a rear axle that has brakes on it and...
Brakes, we're going uphill.
Yeah, but you need to stop at one point.
At the top.
That's right.
We want to get there as fast as we can from the bottom to the top.
Right.
The best way to do that is lots of horsepower and traction.
Yeah.
The Pit Crew plan to find a tough all-purpose vehicle like a Jeep. They'll strip it down to the engine, chassis and axles and put on some big tyres to give them greater grip or traction. But it'll still be a heavy machine and they may need a bigger engine to get them up the gradient.
You have to keep it simple. It's very simple. I want you guys to look for a frame first.
Okay.
If you happen to see the frame, you're looking for an engine too, and looking for tires now.
All right.
That's the basis to start. Let's start rolling with that. That's the
Tire,
basic.
frame, engine.
Yes,
Okay.
let's move. Let's
All right,
move on
great.
that.
We need a motorcycle, big, a rear axle, and a chain. Can you guys do that?
Ready, Dave?
Yep. Let's go.
All right.
The Jet Jocks are off to a flying start, but their wings are soon clipped by the Pit Crew. The pilots are forced to make an emergency landing.
Excuse me.
This duel is turning into a dogfight.
Aren't you a bit over the hill, Tyler?
Well, for you, this is going to be a really steep learning curve.
Oh, well, I think you're looking at an uphill struggle.
This is going over the top, isn't it? Yeah.
Scott, we're looking for a Spicer type rear end.
Yeah, I got you on that. Yeah, exactly. Positive all the way, full lock.
The pit crew Junkyard dogs Scott and Tim are hot on the scent of engines, and it looks like they've sniffed out a big one. So is this what you guys are looking for?
We can probably make it work.
Do you think this vehicle is really your color?
Well, one of those colors bound to be us.
And there's a mother-loaded chain back here.
Ooh, grab that.
Everything's up for grabs, but our former Top Guns are not hitting too many targets. How are you feeling about this?
Pretty good, because we've all had some car experience, and I had a sand rail, which is going to be similar, tube frame and all that, so I feel pretty good.
Hey, Timmy, you there? Come back. How you doing?
Busy looking. Okay, I'm coming. Are you in the back?
You have a 10-4 on that, baby. We're ready to roll there. Let's get some action.
This is the hard part, the waiting part.
It's an uphill battle for both teams. Will they be able to power themselves to the top? Former flying aces, the Jet Jocks, are building a lightweight buggy powered by a motorcycle engine so they can head for the heights.
So 195, 75, 14.
If you can find 2 of those, that would be great.
Back far right.
The pit crew, a mess of mechanics from Virginia, are manufacturing a monster machine to master that muscle-bound mound of a mountain.
Small controlled explosion to help.
Things are looking up for the pilots,
All right, look at that.
but they'll need more than a glider.
It's got a clutch kill on it.
Yeah.
We got power!
This could be a first, a motor that starts in the first hour of the build. The bike's roaring out the revs, and Easy Rider Randy is born to be wild.
All right.
Hey, Frank, we got a male Jeep, automatic transmission. There's a 10-bolt rear end, but the rear cover comes off.
Pit crew scavengers Scott and Tim have held up a mail truck.
no.
Captain Frank's acting like they've won a winning lottery ticket.
Hey, baby, bingo, bingo. We're going to give you a prize when you get here. Bring it down, baby. You're looking good.
Good, we're on our way in with our victim.
Those Virginians have come out west and picked up some cowboy tricks. The posse bring the truck in by lasso.
Come on, buddy. We're looking good.
The pit crew are getting down and dirty, while clean-cut Randy and Ron are starting to get rattled,
Right in.
Hey, they've got a vehicle in their place. What are you guys doing?
flying around in circles.
For Captain Frank and expert Chris, it's time to open today's mail. Truck.
Talk to me, Chris, buddy.
Got a 6-cylinder in it. We'll get rid of that.
Not surprisingly, 6 cylinders just ain't nowhere big enough for the pit crew boys.
So what's the idea? Haul this out, and what do you need in here to get optimum power?
Yeah, we're looking for a small 327 Chevrolet motor with a lot of torque, a lot of power.
Like a V8 type
Yes,
thing?
yeah,
Tons of power?
definitely, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Even though they're going to strip the mail van down to the chassis and axles, it'll still be too heavy for its 6-cylinder engine to power them up the hill. They've got no choice but to replace it with a bigger engine, such as a V8. No mean feat, even for such seasoned mechanics as the pit crew. With all those extra revs, they'll be able to add bigger wheels to give them more traction.
You've already heard the engine going over there with the Jet Jocks. Has that got you worried?
They need a lot more than a running engine, you know.
Everything sounds good for them, but we just begun.
Jet Jocks. I've heard a very sweet sound coming from this side of the junkyard.
The motorcycle runs.
Yeah, it runs really. I mean, I was hearing wheel screeching.
Oh, I did a peel out.
What does that mean?
I spun the rear tire. I wanted to make sure transmission worked.
That's not just a show off. That is a peel out is a technically necessary act.
Technically necessary.
So what's the basic strategy here? There's nothing sort of chassis-like.
Well, the
going
chassis, we're going to have to build the chassis.
Oh, really?
And it's going to basically be tying part of the motorcycle together with part of a rear axle of something like that.
That little buggy thing. a go-kart that has seen somewhat better days.
That doesn't look too strong.
Is this what you're looking for from this? Just the rear axle?
Yeah, so we can have a gear to drive from the motorcycle engine with the chain.
So chain drive, now is that a commonly used thing in hill climbing? Because I'm very anxious about chains because they always fall off in this program.
Well, hopefully ours doesn't fall off.
Really?
We're not going to have any rear suspension on the vehicle.
But you can still get wobbly that way.
We're going to try to tension the chain tight from the beginning, and hopefully it stays that way. Keeping everything light, all our components should be able to be light. Everything should be able to stay on the light end instead of having to build everything heavy just to so it stays together.
Now, is this because you saw your team and you saw that the jet jocks are all pretty lively built? I mean, especially compared to the fellas over the road there.
That's good. This is a good thing. Power to weight ratio.
Yeah. The team will build their chassis from steel tubing, which should be light enough to allow the motorbike engine to power them up the hill. The engine will drive a chain connected to a rear axle from a go-kart. Their driver will sit in front, which means they'll need to connect gears, clutch and acceleration all the way back to their engine. How do you all actually know each other? I mean, do you go back a long way?
We go all the way back to college. We went to college together at the Air Force Academy, and then we were roommates at Air Force pilot training.
How old were you when you were there?
18 to 22.
Right. Oh, so you've been through it together a bit?
Yeah, since about 20 years. In fact, I think plus or minus a couple months, it'll be our 20-year reunion.
Excellent. So you're used to actually working together in these kind of highly stressful situations?
Pilot training, we definitely work together, and time management, all our skills are there. All we got to do is just make sure we can put all the pieces together here.
But you need to get dirtied up and, you know, a bit sweatier and grubbier.
There. We're getting there. Oh, they're doing all the work.
Giff and Dave are bang on target.
Solid axle VW.
Ask me if it has a steering and wheels and tires.
Steering column.
Perfect.
That's what we want.
It's the ideal front end for their cutting-edge climber. The Volkswagen has a lightweight axle, wheels, and steering column all in one. But this is one Beetle that's not going to be easily crushed.
It's loose.
So these teams couldn't be more polar opposite, I think.
It's good, isn't it? You've got the tall, sleek,
clean
jet jocks and the short, down and dirty.
Hey, by the way, that
and you know what? I think the machines are going to the type of the team as well, because the jet jocks are all rather lithe and sort of, you know, like horses.
Right.
And they're going for a very lightweight, sleek hill climber,
Right. And
which kind of works.
The pit crew going for something husky, rough, brutal is probably the best word I can use for what they're building.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, we're looking at a van over here, but it's an emissions motor. It looks awful complete. Keys in it.
Scott's found a big V8 engine to put some zip into that old mail van.
Hey, Tim.
But where are your buddies when you need them? This old junkyard dog is about to let out one big howl.
What is wrong with your radios? Can nobody hear me? Is mine broke?
What's wrong?
Well, I'm trying to be on the ignition and the battery cables at the same time. Nobody's answering the radio, but other than that, I'm having a wonderful day. How about you?
Oh, no, we can't have
You gonna hit the key or you gonna stand there with me?
No. Can't waste time squabbling.
Hit it. All right. Straighten up.
The meaty mechanics are getting hot under the collar, and the last thing they need is some smart-ass flying boys butting in. Haven't these guys got any work to do?
Your tire's flat.
How you gonna get up a hill with that?
Stop! You all by yourself? You want some help? Pull ahead.
Randy thinks it's time Captain Ron let off some steam.
Go ahead, take some aggression out.
But it's not all hot air. All they're interested in getting from the motorbike is its gearbox and 1000cc engine.
Oh, it's gonna sound good.
Let me look on the starter back here. All right,
Want me to
ready?
get you another battery or what?
The pit crew are giving their new van the once-over, and ever-confident Captain Frank looks worried.
Give me your opinion. Come on, give me your opinion.
Hey, we got a hell of an oil leak.
What do you think?
Yeah, the tranny's dumping.
It's cooked?
Yeah. We're gonna need another transmission.
Oh, God, where's the oil coming out
It's a
of?
major reverse for Frank and the boys.
Can't believe it. Found a runner and a driver, brought it in, transmission's bad. I don't know what we're gonna do. We're gonna have to find one, change the transmission. This when you think you got them whipped, something comes back to get you.
Jet jockeying scavengers Dave and Giff have finally succeeded in getting the front axle and wheels off this old Beetle.
Oh my God! You're dirty.
Dirty, but happy. They've got an axle, suspension, and wheels all in one.
Look at our 3 main components. Ugh. Right on, guys.
Dude.
If you work for the best makeup.
Andy, right.
In the last 10 years, the sport of hill climbing has gone over the top. But dirt track hill racing is not new. Since 1916, the Pikes Peak race in Colorado Springs has been one of the most grueling challenges for both man and machine. It's a 13-mile white-knuckle ride to an altitude of 15,000 feet. The king of the hill is our judge, New Zealander Rod Millen. Hello, sir. Welcome to the throne.
How's it
Good
going?
to have you here. Good, good. So they call you as the king of the hill. Why is that?
King of the mountain? Yeah, well, maybe for the years I've won Pikes Peak Hill Climb.
So you know a thing or two about hill climbing then?
Yeah, hill climbing, vehicle dynamics.
Well, Rod, you've seen our hill that the two teams are going to climb. What will make for a good machine to get up and get to the top of that hill?
It's a combination of a few things. You know, the vehicle not only has to be powerful, but the power to weight ratio is perhaps the most important thing. Traction, the tires they choose, the traction, of course, is going to be critical.
Let's take a look at the differences between the two teams and what they're actually building, because they are quite different, aren't they?
The approach the pit crew are taking in the old days was the approach, you know, heavy chassis, heavy engine, heavy differential. So there's a lot of mass to move up that hill. Well, I think the jet jocks have a lot more sophisticated approach. They've chosen the motorcycle engine, the straight axle in the rear. They're going to take the Volkswagen front suspension. Then they're going to build a frame to connect all these pieces up, putting a lot of emphasis on lightweight. So the jet jocks have a better power to weight ratio.
So where does your money go? Jet jocks or pit crew?
At the moment, the jet jocks.
Giff's found the last pieces of their junkyard jigsaw, lightweight steel poles to make up their frame and chassis.
142 and 13/16.
They can now start building.
47 and an 1/8.
Works for me.
The pit crew have a more basic approach to chassis. They reckon if they tear the mail van to pieces, they'll find one in there somewhere.
There you go. There you go. Nice roll. Nice. Oh, yeah. There you go. Watch the jack.
Isn't destroying a mail van a federal offence?
No problem. Beautiful, beautiful.
Well, you guys, everything seems to be all kind of strewn around right now. I guess you're just kind of figuring out where it's all going to go, what you're going to do.
Sign in tasks and come back in an hour and it'll look like a car.
Maybe 2.
Now it's the fun part now. We get to put it all together.
That's right.
We're done digging around, or you guys are done digging around. I got a mouse in my pocket.
you see Ron actually just took his gloves and went like this to make it look like he's actually been doing stuff. You know? Yeah, it's really busy in here.
Hey, Frank.
Go ahead, Scott.
I found a Chevy van over here, a blue one. It's got a 4-bolt main 350.
Scott's got a checkered record when it comes to spotting working motors, but Captain Frank still has faith.
That's a winner, baby. That's a 10-4, Betty. Get it over here.
That's easier said than done. It's buried under a ton of junk.
Attention teams, it's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. You have 6 hours remaining.
Piece of cake.
Piece of cake.
You got 6 hours, guys.
You tell Timmy that, when he gets a chance.
Beautiful Bobby's waiting for him, so shake a leg, baby.
We're there, dude.
Okay, because I miss you.
All right, Trouble.
Tell him to shut up now. That's enough.
Yeah, you can go ahead and take a nap now.
Hey, you joined. Does it look like a 1310?
Yada,
If that's what you want it to look like.
Can I have a quick word?
Sure. Shut up.
Excuse me, Frank. Can I have a quick word with Scott in peace, please, sir? Is that a 10-4 on that, sir, Frank?
2 feet long. That's a big 10-4 there, buddy.
And now you his buddy, too.
It's so easy to be a buddy. So, what was all that?
Yeah, for it.
No wonder you haven't done it. And you just spend all the time chatting. What's all this talk about? You're going to try and get something out which seems to have a rather large vehicle sort of positioned on top of it.
Exactly.
Right, how are we going to do that?
Well, if we have to move the vehicle, I figure I'd poke it with a sharp stick and see what it does. If not, maybe we'll try to dig a tunnel under it or call in the National Guard.
You need one of those kind of groups of people who fix emergency vehicles for a living to come and sort you out, don't you?
Hey, you know any?
Yeah, I'm sure I met some earlier.
I don't see a master
Can we
link.
use the master link off of that one?
No, it wasn't long enough.
Randy and Ron are getting hung up on chains.
Hey Dave, you know when you found the chain, you wouldn't have happened to have seen a master link sitting around there, would you?
I'll go back and look.
Thanks.
Ron, I'm the master link.
No, you're the missing link.
The joke may be on the jocks. Without a chain, our flyers will never get off the ground.
Getting the Chevy out is proving to be a major headache. And although Scott's not calling out the National Guard, he may need to bring in the fire department.
Yeah, we're gonna need something to fight the fire with. Both fire extinguishers are dry.
Half the day's gone, and both teams are finding it's one long uphill struggle.
We're just kind of kick back, relax a little bit, watching this smoke. It's actually pretty cool.
Hey, has anybody seen my pit crew out there, guys?
Pit crew scavengers Scott and Tim are on firefighting detail, putting out a blaze on this Chevy engine.
Keep on, we're gonna run out of gas. This thing quit burning.
This chain, we don't have a master link.
The jet jocks will be grounded without a working chain, but Randy's got a plan.
So if we grind that flat, it'll pound out, and we can pound it out just so it stays in here.
The chain is already the weakest part of their design, and they can't afford to take any chances.
Not to question the master, but what if we just ground that flat and put the master link that we have on there?
We can do that as well.
Scott and Tim have finished firefighting and are pulling out that heavy Chevy engine and transmission.
Drive, stop, get the cart. Watch your head. Nice and easy.
Frank's relieved to see the engine, but it's going to be a big job getting it up and running.
Come on, baby. I can live with that. I can live with that.
Teams, this is your 5-hour time check. A 5-hour time check.
I hope his hill climbers as fast as their clock.
Test fit right now.
Randy and Ron have fixed the chain and start on this back axle they've plundered from a go-kart.
I think this gear will work best here. We can eyeball that line right around there.
I think you're right.
Keep it perfectly centered.
Yep.
Fitting the chain sprocket isn't going to be easy.
All right.
I think so.
Cool.
When they shift their engine into gear, all the power will run through the chain and axle. They must get their sprocket aligned correctly or the chain could wobble and fall off. Tension could also be tricky. Too loose and they'll lose power. Too tight and their already weakened chain could snap.
The jet jocks have got a lot to do.
Okay, let's get out the laundry list then. What do they got left to do?
The whole frame needs to come together. The steering shaft, all the pedals, the controls. Is it half built yet? I don't think so.
What about the pit crew?
The pit crew, they've got all their equipment here now. They got the motor and transmission. You know, I'm expecting to see these guys start to smoke it here and see some action.
So in a flat-out sprint, you go with the pit crew.
Right at the moment.
Scott's found some heavy tyres, but his buddy Tim has gone AWOL again.
Tim, I need some help over here, bub.
Where are you? Thanks.
Here I am. Got that?
But there are enough tyres to keep Frank and Chris busy. They're welding wheels together to fit on the rear axle. They'll certainly give their climber a real mean off-road look, but they're not just there for show.
That will work. That will work just fine.
The large twin tyres will help them get as much of their beefy V8 engine's power where it's needed most, to the ground. Doubling the tyres will give them more traction, but will make steering that much harder.
So have you seen this hill that we're going up? It's really steep.
Is it? What gradient is it?
I don't know.
Do you know about gradients?
No.
Look. Right. That's our hill. And I'm going to show you the formula for calculating different gradients. So lift it up. Give me 10 degrees.
Oh, okay. Ooh, heavy.
Okay, well that's a 17.6% gradient.
Okay.
All right, now push it all the way up to like 45 degrees. Bit more, bit more, bit more. There we go. Now, what do you reckon that is?
I don't know, about 50?
No, that's actually 100% gradient.
Well, then what gradient is this?
Ah!
Yeah, first is
First
down.
is down, the rest should be all
The
up.
jet jocks are in a nosedive. Their motorbike seems to be stuck in first gear.
Did you shift it up at all when you were driving it around?
First gear burnout, that was it.
The only thing they can do is run the engine to see if it will allow them to shift.
What was it?
It's a 5-speed. One down, 4 up.
But it was going?
We got him.
Oh man, panic there for a minute.
All the gears worked. We got all 5 gears, so that's great. But for a minute there was a little worrisome.
What's the strategy in terms of, in terms of sort of shifting the gears as you go and things? Because I'd imagine that most of it would be in first gear, isn't it?
No, we should be in 3rd gear before we hit the exact hill. Hopefully not be shifting on the hill too much.
But you'd go up it in 3rd?
I'm hoping.
Oh, really?
About 50 miles an hour.
Good.
Look out, I'm gonna put it down, Oh, my weight's on it.
My foot. It'll be all right.
The pit crew won't have to change gear as their V8 has an automatic transmission.
Put it down nice and easy.
If there was one concern, what would it be?
We have no idea if this transmission works.
We don't have a clue.
The van was buried over there.
That could be a problem.
And we know that the motor has got a knock to it.
We know the other choice of a transmission was no good. So we have no choice anyway.
Are you going to be able to be fast enough to get this thing done? I mean, you've got a lot of work to do.
We got to mount the motor, get the drive shaft to fit. We got to build a roll cage yet. We got to mount a seat. Got to mount a fuel tank.
Okay, you want me to make a list for you? Because this is getting long.
We have a wish list here.
You guys are definitely going to get done. I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm going to tell Scott right to his face. I'm going to look him dead in the eye. There's no way you are going to get this done.
Get out of the way.
In 10 hours. All right.
Okay.
Push this, go get him, guys.
Hey, you hear that? No way. All right.
Yeah, right.
Attention, teams. You have 2 hours remaining, so get at it.
Hey, we got 2 hours.
2 hours, all right, no problem.
The cool-headed flying boys still have a mountain to climb. The next step is fitting a rugged roll cage.
These both need to see how that one's leaning in just a little bit.
To balance out the super sleek speedster, the driver will sit up front.
I'll be in 1st gear and the next gear will be up.
Okay, so put it where it's comfortable again.
But that means they've got the tricky task of connecting controls for clutch, throttle, and gears all the way back to the motor.
Then we don't have to, this doesn't have to move as much back there.
Right, exactly.
Once you work on those motor mounts, that's what we need.
The pit crew's engine is almost in position.
We knock the hole for that to strip it or what?
Scott's working flat out, connecting it to the mail van's drive shaft.
It's real good. This is real good.
And these guys are finally starting to enjoy themselves.
Start hooking up the wires and we'll be looking good.
At least another ½ inch on that.
The jet jocks have almost finished the driver's controls, so Ron and Randy can't put off sorting out the axle and chain any longer.
I need to come on.
Can you slide in more on that?
Yeah.
They have to get that right. Is it going to be strong enough? They're putting a lot more power through it than it's ever seen before.
And that chain link, that's going to, there's a chance of it wobbling and the whole bit.
Is it going to be offset? Is the chain going to get tighter and looser? Ooh, there's a few unanswered questions. The pit crew here, they've got their motor, transmission, and even the drive lines in. I'm a little surprised. They seem to have picked up the pace.
Do back there, no problem.
Hey, we're going to have this thing running 20 minutes.
That's right. We got another hour. I'm pretty sure we do. No problem.
The jet jocks have also decided to crank it up a gear.
We also need to see how this is crooked.
The weight-watching flyers are using small wheels.
I'm sick of wheels, man.
They'll keep things light, but might not deliver enough traction.
But lack of traction won't be a problem with this set of groovy grippers.
It looks like a very unique machine, that's for sure.
The pits have created the Junkyard equivalent of Frankenstein's monster. While the Jets have fashioned a slim and trim engineering supermodel. It's going to be a showdown between Beauty and the Beast, and we're not just talking vehicles. Well, the filth prize clearly goes to our estimable friends on the right, the pit crew.
Actually, it goes to that guy over there who I don't even recognize anymore. His name's Ott or something like that.
Because it is amazing when you look over at the jet jogs, and they haven't even chipped a fingernail.
Honestly, actually, I saw one of them getting a manicure earlier.
It's still perfectly intact.
Exactly.
Steph, you got a favourite?
I love the sleek and kind of clean lines of the jet jocks, but to me, there's just something about brute, nasty, strength that I really like, and and those big fat tires. I don't think you can go wrong with the pit crew.
They look really good,
what they've
don't
got.
they?
Yeah.
Well, you guys get going and cracking on
The pit crew have gambled their whole hand on the V8, but will it come up trumps?
Oh, it'll start. Let's try it up here. Okay, try that.
The engine works then. That really does sound, really meaty.
I know.
Are you quite looking forward to getting behind the wheel?
We're looking forward to watching. How's that?
But a croaky old motor ain't gonna take the breath away from our fighting Top Guns.
What's that?
Something's rattling.
That sounds like an egg beater. It might not gonna last too long.
I'm not sure you should be quite this rude about them, because it could have
No, because they're going to kick our butts, and then they're going to be like...
We've got the motorcycle stuff here. Steering is going to be done
The steering wheel.
with the steering wheel up there. This is just like a little decoy.
This is the throttle.
All right.
So we're going to make a gas pedal out of it.
What a great idea. It's come together so nicely. I got to tell you, it's so sleek and clean looking compared to that thing over there. That's good. Now, before you guys are finished, just make sure you get a little dirtier before you go over to see it, just to make it look like you guys actually did something.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Okay. Teams, this is no time to take a breather. You've got 15 minutes.
I love pressure. It's going to work. It'll work.
Oh, look out. That didn't hold very good.
Let's assume they've hit speed. Now they're on the incline. Take me through that.
Getting momentum off the start line is going to be very, very important. The large motor, the dual wheels, and I think that's going to work in their favor. With the jet jocks, I think it's a matter of hanging on, staying on the gas, and praying.
Here we go. It's money time. Do you go with the jet jocks, the sleek, athletic runner type machine, or do you go with the football player, the linebacker of the pit crew?
The jet jocks, I think it's more of a high-tech approach.
Wait a minute, wait. The jet jocks? You are Johnny Wobbly. You're back and forth all day. 3, 2, 1.
We're done.
Teams, put your tools down now. You're done. Give yourselves a hand. The jet jocks have meticulously manufactured a svelte supermodel from a motorbike engine, a VW Beetle, and some light steel. It's certainly a good looker, but will it deliver enough traction? And will that chain hold out?
The pit crew have made a galloping gradient gobbler from a sawn-off mail van running on outsized tyres. But can that vintage V8 deliver the weight to the summit and a place in the Junkyard semi-finals?
We've climbed to the hills of Hungry Valley. Our machines are going to gobble up the gradients and munch these mountains. It's a test that's not for the faint of heart, because what goes up must come down!
As usual, we've allowed the teams 1 hour of tinkering time.
Tim, put 12 pounds in the front tires.
Just try to help keep the rear end down, right, Dave?
Right, because we're going to be going so fast.
That's right.
The teams will have 3 attempts to scale our vertigo-inducing incline. The challenge is to get as high as they possibly can. But in the event that both teams make it all the way to the top, it'll become a test of speed. And the team who makes it there in the shortest time will be the kings of the hill.
With the mechanics mastered, our teams have extra time to give their machines a nice paint job. Even the pit crew's mean machine is starting to sparkle.
Get both sides.
Okay.
You've gone and made it all look pretty and nice and yellow and decorated now.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't look quite so much of a Hellraiser as it did.
It's a Hellraiser.
A Hellraiser, now that's a good name. Now looking at that machine over there, your rival, I mean, they couldn't be more different.
This is a junkyard war, and this is a junkyard right here.
Absolutely, and it's not a beauty contest.
This is Beauty and the Beast. You know, this is the Beast, and that's
This
the
hill's
beauty
a beast,
right there.
I'd say we're better matched.
What do you think, looking at the hill? It's the first time you've seen it.
Comparison from where we come from, that is, your people, we got to get parachutes to come down. We got one good driver. He has a lot of experience.
Yeah,
but,
you feeling confident, Chris?
And I'm pretty sure.
No problem.
No problem. Jet Jogs. I've got to tell you that I think this is the slickest looking machine we've ever had on this program.
All right.
It's frighteningly neat.
Well, we're neat people. We're neat people.
Is that true? Your bedrooms are all tidy and things like that?
Oh yeah, beds are made.
Every morning.
Don't ask my mom. Don't ask my mom about that.
So how's it looking in terms of the working bits rather than the decorative bits?
Well, we beefed up our back axle there. I think we're a little more comfortable with it.
What about your chain? Are you absolutely confident that's going to stay on throughout?
The chain will stay on if the axle doesn't bend or break. Rear axle is designed for a tire that's about 8 inches tall and a 125cc motor. This is 1,000 motor.
And about a 25-inch
tall tire.
Right, yes, I can see there could be issues. All right, well, best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you at the top, hopefully.
You bet.
But how will the judge rate our team's chances? My biggest concern on this machine is the chain.
The chain itself looks strong. Is the rear axle strong enough? That may be the weak link on here. They've used the axle out of that quad. You know, this is a pretty big, heavy vehicle now. It started out nice and light, but it's grown in weight.
Is the chain taut enough? Is it got enough tautness, or should it
have
a little bit of give?
It needs to have some sort of give there. I think the chain itself will be okay. It may be some of the accessories, the driveline accessories may be the weak point.
Okay, let's move along because here is the actual power behind the machine, the engine. What do you think? Is this going to be enough to get it up that hill?
Well, power-wise, I don't think that's a problem. I think it's getting that power to the ground.
Okay.
Traction, traction, traction.
Rod, the key to any good machine is having a great name, and the pit crew have picked Hellraiser for this one. What do you think of it? What do you think of it?
We always said that on this hill climb, they've got to have traction to get up the mountain. You know, that by going with the dual wheels, you know, they're definitely going to have traction.
Okay, so the wheels are obviously a positive thing. What about the huge V8 engine the pit crew have put inside the Hellraiser?
Yeah, the pit crew went through the yard and picked out the biggest engine they could find.
They actually picked out a couple of engines, but they went with this one.
Yeah, and I think this is a good choice.
Any other things about the Hellraiser that you like?
I like the exhaust pipes, you know, one out here, one out the front.
And why is that important?
Well, I think it's just unique.
Give me an idea what it's going to be like for this vehicle on this hill.
I think the driver's going to have to ease into the hill. If he goes too fast, he's going to hit the rough, choppy parts at the bottom of the hill, and he could bounce out of control. He could bounce off the course. So he's better off to go smoothly at the start, and then once he gets over the rough section, accelerate and try and get as far up the top of the hill.
Our teams must scale one of the steepest off-road tracks in the U.S. This 400-foot hill has a jaw-dropping gradient of 40%. Tackling it is a truly terrifying trial. One wrong move here, and it's a fast roll back to the bottom. But I'll be well out of harm's way at the summit. Pit crew, start your engines!
The waiting is finally over and it's time to get on with our uphill battle. It's the best of 3 runs.
Ready, set, there they go. It's roaring away. This old mail van can definitely make a quick delivery with the revs.
Oh, it's bouncy, watch out, he's coming our way.
He's got it, come on, come on.
Chris is fighting desperately to keep it on track.
Whoa, he's out of control. No, he regained it.
He's losing speed.
Go! Traction's a problem, he's going backwards.
The Hellraiser has run out of power, and it's all over for this round. How did it look from your vantage point?
Well, as I said, you know, he hit those bumps at the base of the hill. He bounced out of control. He lost momentum. Then he tried again to gain momentum to get back up the hill. He was done. Next time around, he needs to slow down, get across that rough stuff, and then zip as high as he can.
Nice one! How did it feel?
Squirrelier than hell.
Squirrelier than hell.
You need air pressure. You need to tighten up.
They don't want to go straight.
Yeah.
It was more traction this side.
Was it?
Yeah, with the good tires on that
So you
side.
need more or less air on this side. Less.
Yeah.
It seems they're getting more bounce than traction out of those huge tyres. They reckon if they lower the pressure, they might get more grip on the ground.
Tyler here, Kathy, go ahead.
Do we have a distance measurement for the first run of the pit crew?
287 feet for the pit crew.
I think we're very happy with that down here for a first run. There's something there for the jet jocks to chew on, isn't there?
Jet jocks, prepare for takeoff. The pilot's aerodynamic dragster taxis down the runway. They've got 287 feet to beat. Ready, set. They are off. The Jet Jocks climber is definitely slower, but Randy seems to have much more control. Randy hits the steepest part of the course.
There they come.
Looks good.
Watch out there.
Looks
Oh,
pretty
they're
good.
doing all right. Traction. They're struggling. Oh, they're done. Oh, no brakes. Ooh, that's gotta be a scary feeling.
It looked promising.
You know, traction. I think they struggled with traction. They maybe could carry a little more speed through the rough stuff there. Maybe if they got on a higher gear, they got a little more torque, a little less wheel spin, that might give them some more momentum.
But I wanted to get through them bumps, and I just wanted to get up the hill a little ways. Didn't want to break anything first run out.
So you were deliberately taking it easy that run?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
But you reckon with a bit more speed, you can
Yeah, we're
have that
definitely
happen
going to go
later?
with some more momentum, and we should get further up the hill, if not all the way. We'll give her hell next run.
The Jet Jocks were a little short of the runway on this one.
Unfortunately, only 270 feet.
Oh, we'll take
So
that.
there's only 17 feet in it at this point. After round one, the pit crew have sneaked ahead. They've reduced their tyre pressure, but will it give them the edge in round two? Round two!
It's another fast start. Looking good so far.
Yeah.
He slammed into the bumps again. He's being bounced all over the place. Chris is fighting desperately for control. Come on, get up there. No! It looks shorter than their first attempt. The pit crew will not be happy with that run.
He ended up hitting a good bump there, and he lost control on one side. We lost some distance there.
Have we got a distance for round two for the pit crew?
Yes, we do, Kathy.
280 feet.
That's less than their first attempt, and the team have come up with a radical rethink for run three.
A decision has to be made. We're going to cut the tires off, or we're not going to cut it off.
I'm leaning towards cutting them off.
Okay, sounds good to me. That's a plan. We'll check the water.
They reckon the only way to make their unruly vehicle more manageable is to cut off two of the rear wheels.
Okay, here we go. Jet Jocks, second run. Randy's promised us much more revs for round two. And he's away with a much faster start.
Ooh, they're staying in a low gear. Oh, they're on the gas. On the gas.
Nice. Oh, that sounded bad.
What's all that rattling sound? Sounds like something's come apart on that thing.
Yeah, we lost the chains off.
You've lost the chain.
Oh, man.
One of our gussets came off, Randy.
The gusset
The
to the
last
back.
one we put on that center support.
Yeah, it broke.
Told you we hated chains. Tried to tell you. Until the chain came off, the jet jocks were closing in on the pit crew. They're still in with a chance, but only if they get that chain fixed.
Let's see what our spare gear looks like. Try to come up with a file. I need to get the welder over here and get it back together.
All right.
And there aren't too many smiles in the pit crew's camp. They're cutting off one set of tyres to gain more control, but it's a gamble. They might lose out on traction.
After 2 rounds, the pit crew are feeling high with a distance of 287 feet.
The jet jocks are trailing behind, but by just 17 feet. Before round 3, both teams have had to carry out major refits. The pit crew hope their handling will be improved by cutting off 2 back wheels.
I'm coming off right now, coming off.
The jet jocks are fixing the chain that fell off in round 2. The Battle of the Hill is back on.
Attention, pit crew! This is your last chance to reach for the top. Ready, set, with less weight, it's an even faster start. Wait a minute. Chris is heading straight for the rough ground.
Come on, Salsa, he's doing it. Come on.
He's flown over those bumps.
He's behind the flag! I love it. We went farther than we went before. That's all I want to do.
Chris is well past their last mark. They've saved the best run for last. Where they definitely broke 287.
They definitely did.
Oh, fantastic. It looks like the tires made a difference.
Nice one.
Awesome. Big time. Big time.
God, did we go 300 or better?
Oh, yeah. We went a lot better that time.
Oh,
There's 4 men standing here in great anticipation of the score for that run.
The number is 3.
0, 5.
Over 300.
now you know what 300 foot sound like.
So 305, I guess the only thing you can say is that the only way is up.
Well, good luck, Randy.
Thank you.
It's all on you. No pressure from the team.
No.
Good luck.
Good luck. We're all counting on you.
Break it at the top.
Racing Randy's used to staying cool under pressure. He knows he has to push himself and the buggy to the limits and just hope that chain can take the strain.
The Jet Jock ground crew know it's all or nothing. Randy's squeezing everything out of that machine.
Momentum.
He's over the bumps. It's looking good as he hits the gradient. Open it up. But oh no, he's getting dragged down in the dust. The beautiful buggy has breathed its last. Oh, good try though. I mean, you can really see him trying to squeeze every inch out of that machine.
The pit crew aren't waiting for the official announcement. They know that victory is theirs.
Oh, sorry about that.
Great. Hey, nobody made it to the top, but we do have a king of the hill. The pit crew! And a valiant effort, but it's back to flying planes, boys, for the Jet Jocks. All right. Hey, if you thought that was a ball of fun, join us for the next Junkyard Wars.
In our next programme, get ready for the Battle of the Brainiacs with 2 teams from MIT. The geeks and the quantum mechanics kludge together a couple of sailboats and race them across dry land.
Junkyard Wars continues on Monday. Tonight, join the Torchwood team searching for cluster bombs while the mysterious Captain John is determined to wreak havoc in Series 2 of Torchwood, 8:30 tonight on ABC2.